Thank you very much, members of the commission, Mr. Nahai and all. I think I've heard this presentation about 5 times now, David. Getting there. You know me, I like education. I learn something new every time I come to this. I want to give you a little feedback. In another life, I am the secretary of the LANC Coalition. And the minutes of that meeting, at which Mr. Nahai and Mr. Benjamin and others presented this material, go through the 5 parts of the mayor's program first. In my own personal way, it's a long set of minutes, but that's me. But 2.5, 3 pages are dedicated to this. And it brings up several points of great issue. As you know, many neighborhood councils, many groups of neighborhood council people, many business and homeowners organizations have gone on record in opposition to Measure B. But most of them have said they're all for solar. And I think what we're missing here is a good educational process. And I think I hear what Ms. Rolls is referring to as a good educational process. We're very concerned in the neighborhood councils and elsewhere about the lack of financial data, and very anxious to hear what Huron is going to tell us in the next week or 2.
So are we.
And when it comes to finances, every $1.5 billion that you add to the expenses of the department are $1,000 per customer. Is my math correct? I think so.
I don't know.
1.5 million customers, $1.5 billion, that's $1,000 per customer. And that's $83 a month, or $167 per bill. We haven't heard how much it's going to cost us. We know it's going to cost. And I like your concept of no house left behind. Maybe that's the new
That's
administration.
a good one. I like it. We can adopt that.
All right.
No house left
And
behind
there are
for
ways
solar.
in which
That's
all
good.
the houses can be serviced. 230 in any of the city councilman's district is not much. Each of their districts is 250,000 people. We're talking about less than 1/10 of 1%. So even the houses in those areas need to be kept up to date. Now, I have another question, and that is, because the 400 megawatt solar installations and the SB1 installations are in-house and are the product and the management of the Department of Water and Power, I would assume that even if Proposition B fails, that program will go forth. It was there before Measure B was created. It'll still be there after Measure B was created. Will it go forth even if it fails at the electorate? I wonder if that question can be answered at this time.
I don't know.
I
Mr.
think it's a
Nahai,
pertinent question.
Oh, yeah, it's a good question.
Mr. Nahai, I don't know if you heard the question that was asked.
I'm sorry.
I know you heard.
Well, I'm sorry, I'll
Go
restate
ahead.
it. All parts of the mayor's budget process have been the product of the program as it's been developed in-house here in the Department of Water and Power. That includes the portion which is now being put forward as Measure B. So I would have assumed that even if Measure B fails at the electorate, at the ballot box, it would still be a program that the department would want to put forward. Would that be so? Is this something that's going to go forward, whether it is voted yay or nay at the ballot?
I think we should wait for the electorate to speak.
Well, if they say no, it's going to make it harder for you. I'm sure that's what you just said.
Well, if the electorate says no, then I think the question will be, because as you said, the neighborhood councils are all for solar. They're not against the solar program. I think part of the concern, whenever I've heard it, Dr. Wiseman, you can correct me, the concern that is expressed is with the process. And if the electorate voices an objection to the process that has been undertaken to lead to the ballot box, then I think that's one message. And that would again be a vote not against solar but against the process that was involved. So I think what we need to do is to wait to see how the electorate votes, and we'll be guided from there.
Well, I think what we need to do is to be sure that before the election occurs, the best possible information is forward. You heard me say it this.
Commissioner, at this point, I would like to intervene that this is
Yes.
public comment, and
Please.
it affords the members of the public the opportunity to
This
make
will be
comment, and it's
something
not
to be
a
discussed
open dialogue.
in many venues. And one of the problems is still that we do not have a good connection. I want to thank the department for
Yes, thank you.
making available Simone Taylor and Jeff Childers, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Who are additional people
Childers.
for the neighborhood council, and I'm pleased to be able to say that West Hills Neighborhood Council, my neighborhood council, will apparently be receiving one of your proposals
Dr. Weissman.
with a
your
little
time.
bit of help from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Weissman. Any other comments? All right, well, let's move on then, please.
I did want to make one comment which I think is necessary to make. The math doesn't work out that the program costs this much and therefore it's this much per customer. It does not work out that way because Measure B is designed to bring in financial institutions which will actually nominally incur the initial borrowing and bring to the table the tax credits. So what the department will be doing will be buying that power ostensibly in terms of the legal and contractual relationship. We'll be buying the power from the financial institution until the tax credits run out, and at that point would own the particular facility. So the math is not going to work out as simply as Dr. Weissman just portrayed it. I just want to make sure that that's clear. And besides, we all, I think, need to take a step back, let Huron do its work, and come back to us with a report that will tell all of us what the fiscal impacts will be. And until then, I fear, all of the conjecture